Hello everyone, I am Alexa Donne, a traditionally published author, and today I'm going to be talking to you a bit about author-mentor match. If you're new to the channel or to me or you've just never heard of it, Author-Mentor Match is a mentorship program for traditionally published authors to mentor aspiring writers who want to be traditionally published. We specialize in kid lit, so young adult literature and middle grade, and all of our mentors are either agented by amazing agents or have book deals or books published. Author Mentor Match has been around for 2 years. This is now our 2-year anniversary. We started in the fall-winter of 2016, and we do 2 rounds a year, so we are on round 5 now. Round 5 is going on right now. Submissions are open October 15th to October 21st. The prerequisite to apply is having a complete manuscript, either a middle grade or a YA manuscript, and we advise you that you have revised it at least once, as work that is a bit closer to being polished is more likely to be chosen. Now, of course, the point of mentorship is to help you polish up a manuscript and get you ready to query, but this is just me sharing with you. Typically, if something's really messy and it is a first draft, that's usually too much of a project for a mentor to take on. So most mentors are looking for relatively polished manuscripts, the kind that need just a really good edit letter and 1 or 2 developmental edit rounds until they are ready to query. So this would really essentially be work that you consider pretty close to query ready. That's what we want to see. Now, of course, the big question that comes up is, well, what if I've already queried? We don't have hard and fast rules about this. We prefer work that hasn't been queried because it's just always going to be easier for a mentor to basically start with a blank slate and help you develop your strategy from scratch of what to do with the book and then who to query with it. But if you have done some queries and you've just realized that what you have isn't working, don't worry, you can still apply. Like I said, no hard and fast rule on queries, but we kind of hope you haven't queried more than 10 people or maybe 20. But our general rule of thumb is if you haven't queried half of the total agents that you could possibly query with your manuscript, you're totally free to apply. Because essentially what your mentor would do if you're chosen is help you strategize. So what wasn't working? What can you do to the manuscript or your pitch to get you ready to go back out into the query trenches to get an agent? And that's a very important aspect of Author-Mentor Match. We believe that old-fashioned querying works. The majority of the mentors in Author-Mentor Match, or at least a lot of them, basically just wrote books, queried them, got agents, and many of us sold our books. So we know and believe that it works. And even those of us in our program who did contests, they were mentored by people in those contests, so they also just believe in the power of mentorship. So that is what we are here for, to help aspiring writers figure out this wacky business. Author-Mentor Match is for people who feel that they need that extra push, that extra something to get where they want to go. And the ideal Author-Mentor Match mentee is willing to do work. We're not really here to give you a stamp of approval to query to say, hey, you're perfect, go ahead. It's definitely important to come to the table knowing that you might have to do real work on your manuscript. Now, if a mentor has major changes in mind, don't worry, they're going to email you before they pick you to run their ideas by you to make sure that you're going to be a good editorial fit. Of course, some manuscripts that are submitted are closer to being query ready, but every single mentee in Author-Mentor Match tends to go through at least one round of editorial development before going out and querying. But that said, to reassure you, we also have a wide spectrum of mentees and manuscripts in terms of readiness. We have some mentors who do choose manuscripts that need a major rewrite, and they are willing to work with their mentee over, 6 months, a year, or more, even if it's more than one developmental round, to get your book where it needs to be to get you out and querying. Other mentors do choose books that need one quick or short round of editorial before going out to query. Our mentors are looking for all types of books and all types of writers, so no matter where you are in the process, it's worth applying if you're looking for mentorship. As I mentioned, our relationships are meant to be long-term. At the minimum, you're going to get a full manuscript critique by your mentor and help with querying. But most of our mentors, especially if they hit it off with their mentees and the books and the writing style and you just kind of become friends, have much longer term relationships than that and sometimes work on multiple books. And what I like about Author Mentor Match, I designed it this way when I started it with my co-founder Heather Kaczynski. We're long-term critique partners and really close friends, and we wanted to create a program that did for other people what our close CP relationship did for us. And that's the long-term nature that was really important to us, meaning publishing is a long and arduous process. It has lots of ups and downs. Even when you have a really great up and a fast ascent, though, sometimes you can just really have a big crash later. And it's really important to us that there's someone who's there for you through thick and thin over a longer period of time when things are going well and when things aren't going well. I have a few mentees, you know, they queried the books that I picked them for. I thought their books were amazing. I still think their books are amazing, but they just didn't work in the query trenches. You know, agenting and the book industry, it's very subjective. There's timing, there's the market, there's luck. And I'm still their mentor, I'm still their friend, and they're working on other books, and I'm going to be there to give them advice and cheer them on until the finish line. And beyond that, I want to just be their friends and be there for them. And I'd say the majority of our mentors, that's how they're approaching mentoring. We really want to develop deep, quality relationships with our mentees just to be there for them through this wacky publishing process. Publishing is long, publishing is frustrating, and that is what Author Mentor Match is here for. So as I mentioned, submissions are open now, October 15th through October 21st. To apply, we have a Google submission form, which I will link to down below. This is so we can get to know you a bit. We want to hear about your book, about kind of your background with writing and publishing, other ideas you're working on, and kind of what you have in mind for not only this book, but your career. That's to help us find really good fits for mentors and mentees. Then, once you've filled out the form, you do have to submit a query package to our email address. I'm also going to link below to our submissions page so you can read those guidelines. Essentially, your query package is a query. You're going to attach a partial of your book, which is 50 pages, or the first 3 chapters, whichever is longer. 50 pages is a nice chunk, guys, so you're going to be able to just like send us a nice chunk of your book. And then we want a synopsis. And I'm so sorry that we want a synopsis. I know synopses are scary. I don't like them either, but we have found in the past that asking for a synopsis up front just really helps our process. It helps us get a sense of where books are going and, you know, if they would be a good fit for us. So you send that to our email, and then the mentors will request fulls from people from whom they're interested, and not all mentors choose based on a full. Some will actually choose based on that partial package, but that's kind of how it works. Now you can submit to up to 4 mentors. As I mentioned, our mentors do middle grade and young adult fiction. Vast majority of our mentors are for YA and all kinds of YA. Contemporary fantasy, sci-fi, speculative, urban fantasy, horror, romance. We have something for everyone. We have about 50 mentors for middle grade and YA, and as I mentioned, every single mentor in Author Mentor Match has a great agent, or they have a book deal, or they have books that have come out, so you are in good hands with Author Mentor Match. That's it. I just wanted to tell you about it because I realized I hadn't talked about Author Mentor Match on this channel in a year. We've actually had a round since then, so this is round 5. The video from last year, which I will also link to down below, still a really good introductory video about Author Mentor Match. That was for round 3, and I wanted to let you know. Let me know down below in the comments if you have any questions about Author Mentor Match. I would be happy to answer them. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. I post new videos 2 to 3 times a week. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're entering Author Mentor Match, good luck! Happy writing, guys!